Thanks for joining me on the Strategic Thinking podcast. It's where we talk about technology in the way that it shows up in real life. This show lives in the messy middle between strategy and the day-to-day, keeping learning, work and operations moving in the midst of all the other demands on our plate. Most of all, the people that we work with and that we lead. I'm James Symons, and each episode I sit down with IT leaders, operators and builders across schools, universities and workplaces. Our promise is simple: practical and candid conversations that just may help IT leaders make technology work while being acutely aware of our responsibilities as leaders of people. If you're here, you're welcome. Pull up a seat and join us.
Lacey, I'm so excited about having you on the show. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
We met in Texas,
yes.
And I remember my first encounter with you at the booth, actually a lock and charge booth, and you were there. You were just a ball of energy, and I'm like, I want to be able to have more conversations with Lacey. And I think by the end of the next 2 hours, we were hugging each other, and I'm like, you got to come onto the podcast. So thank you. I love your energy, and I'm so glad you come share it with everyone else.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks.
You're at a school district called Bosqueville.
Correct.
Sounded all right?
Yeah,
without the wrong accent. Okay. Some reason we tend to attract larger school districts, and I think what can be a misconception is that the larger the district, the bigger the problems. I would disagree, because I am part of a small company, and that doesn't mean our problems are small when they come. So am I right in saying that? Tell us a little bit about the size of your district and the size of your team, because again, there's a lot that I imagine a small amount of people are managing.
I think you're right, James. Big districts do have big problems, but smaller districts still have problems. I'm from Bosqueville, a little small town in Waco, Texas. We have K through 12, around 750 students. Mm-hmm. My team is me and my network system administrator. So we have a two-man team. We have about 1,300 Chromebooks, 165 Microsoft devices, and maybe 60 iPads across the district that we're all in charge of. I like to tell people I have that fancy title. Yeah, I'm the technology director. I'm also the technician, social media, website. Yeah, the printers go down. It's one of us too.
Are you ever the substitute science teacher, since that was your background?
I actually... Yes, this past year I went back into the classroom for the first time because we were short on subs.
Wow.
And I got to teach 7th grade science. It was a blast.
Yeah.
I found out at like 9 p.m. the night before, and I text the coach and I was like, hey, what are you doing? Because he left some worksheets or something for us to do. And I was like, and they were doing trophic levels. So like the energy pyramid.
Okay.
And I said, perfect. I came in and I said, hey guys, we did a warm up, like a 5-minute. Here's the trophic levels. Write down what you remember from your notes the day before. And then I took the kids outside and said, find at least one organism in every trophic level. You have 15 minutes. Go.
Wow.
And they ran around looking and then we came back inside and I said, okay, here's a blank energy pyramid. Tell me where each one of your organisms goes on the trophic level pyramid, and then tell me how the energy flows through it. It was great. Such a reinvigorating, because yes, I do technology, but as you said, I was in the classroom for 13 years and then an instructional coach for science and social studies before that. So,
was their normal teacher really annoyed that you came in and made them enjoy science so much?
No. He's a great teacher.
Okay, that's
really great teacher.
Was there anything that made you feel, oh, actually, I could do that more often? Like, did you notice emotionally? Was there like a real strong connection to it? It's like, no, I'm really glad I'm on the trajectory I'm on right now.
So see, I still teach. I also teach online college.
Oh, wow.
I teach online college to cybersecurity majors, but I don't teach them their cybersecurity. I teach them their general science credit. So I teach global environmental change to kids that are getting their cybersecurity degree.
How do you do that? Like when? At night?
Yeah, it's all
Really?
online. I have virtual office hours and then I have to check my email.
Really?
So yeah, I will tell everybody, any interview I've ever been in, because I taught and I coached, and there's that stigmatism on coaches sometimes. But
sorry, coach, I'm not sure if that's going to translate for Australians. What do you mean by coaching?
Sports. So I coached volleyball, basketball, softball.
That translates. But you said something about
I was an instructional coach
Instructional
as well.
coach. Okay, what's the difference between an instructional coach and a
instructional
teacher?
coach? I was over 23 different teachers. I would have to go in
Like
every
head
week.
of department kind of thing? Is that what that is?
Above that even. We still had a department head. I literally was over our entire science and social studies departments. I was also over the advanced academics, so like AP testing, honors classes. But I would go in and I would have to do walkthroughs on the teachers. We had PLCs, which is learning communities. So our science team would meet and our social studies would all meet together and plan lessons and talk about pedagogy and things like that. And so I was in charge of 23 teachers. And so I would, it was a lot. We had to do 8 walkthroughs a week. And then I had to go in and review all 23 teachers' lesson plans every week and give them feedback on them. Yeah.
Yeah, education's in your blood then. Like clearly I can see the passion that you have for it.
I became a teacher because I love teaching. I love learning.
Yeah.
Coaching was just a perk because I was an athlete growing up. I love sports. I like being outdoors, and I love doing that. But the reason I became a teacher was because I love teaching. So I still love doing it. Going into the classroom last year was so much fun.
And is it something then you can more regularly do, or you're just happy with it being a side thing? Like, and that's what I'm trying to, I suppose where I'm trying to get at is sometimes you see people move into a space that eventually just go, actually, my passion isn't here. It's back where my roots are. But it sounds like you're able to have both of them sitting together.
I do. That's why I like teaching the college class, because I still get that, I guess, itch filled.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed going in. I would be happy to go in and sub for our classes if needed. But I like what I'm doing now.
That's great.
I've always liked technology.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much until COVID hit. And that's when I decided, I was like, oh, okay. COVID hit and I was at a school that they were not one-to-one yet, which is shocking because it was a very big district. And when COVID hit, we switched our LMS, so our learning management system. They got a management system that nobody else in the district had ever used. But I had at my previous district, and they did very thorough training. So I ended up helping the district level people design our template and train the teachers, I trained the entire, all the instructional specialists. So while teaching honors biology.
Yeah.
And coaching volleyball and softball.
And the move into technology per se, was that organic? Is that just an interest of yours that came out of that and you were in the right time at the right place at the right time?
During that year, while I was helping everybody, I kind of got into the graphic designing part, and that really intrigued me. And so the next year I became the instructional specialist. So when I did that, I ended up going back to school and getting my cybersecurity and web design degrees. So I was taking like 15 to 19 hours of school, working full time, and did it in 2 years.
Wow. While teaching at night, while working in the classroom.
That was my first year. That actually was my first year. So it was funny because I was teaching cybersecurity majors their science credit while they and I were taking the same cybersecurity classes. So it was my first year going back to school, my first year teaching online college, and I was still working full-time for a school district.
I'm so inspired. So many Americans, one of the things I see is they are just so ambitious with where they want to go and what they want to do, and they're so willing to do other things alongside what they're doing and not complain about it. I mean, I'm like complaining about doing the dishes because I worked all day, you know? So it's like, I'm so inspired by people that can come home and then start studying again. I spoke to someone that's become a really good friend of mine now, Chris Trejo from Northside ISD in Texas. And he was never going to let his family life get in the way of, he was never going to let his studies and his career advancement get in the way of his family, so he would work full-time all day. Then, 5 o'clock, he was all in with the family, doing whatever had to be done, cooking, cleaning, getting the kids to bed. The second that everyone was asleep,
you're at your desk studying.
Man,
yes,
till like 2, 3 in the morning. Unbelievable.
When I got my master's, I was coaching and teaching in Fort Worth, which is 90 minutes from where I live. And so I was commuting. So I would get up at 4 a.m., go to work. I would work all day, coach, drive home, do all the things, and then I would study till like 2 in the morning and go, okay, I got to go to bed and at least get a couple hours of sleep before I get up and go drive again. But yeah, I remember going, there were a couple of nights I was like, how am I going to do this for the next, 18 to 24 months? But it was well worth it. So
I think that's a really good segue into where I suppose most of these conversations end up is around our leadership journey. So doing everything you've done, you've built a lot of resistance. You've also gone, well, it's just got to get done, so we're just going to do it. We'll find out. Sleep will happen whenever it has to happen, right? Like we sleep when we're dead.
That's what I always used to say.
But you got through it, and I think does that then help you when you're faced with something that is a large challenge going, we're just going to work on this till it gets done? Or like has that helped build some of your decision-making resilience? Like what's that been like for you? And I could be totally off. It could be that it's had no influence whatsoever on your journey. I
think 100% because I believe our experiences through life are what help build our work ethic, our values, the way we look and perceive things in our life. I have to say, though, it doesn't matter what job I've ever done. My dad and my mom always told us, whatever you do, you give 110%. So I could go work at McDonald's. I'm still going to give as much effort as I do here. I'm going to have a smile on my face and greet them and say, have a nice day, and here's your food. And because
why do you think they say that? Like, I know. I mean, is it because they also say, don't go swimming after you eat your food? It's is that just because they don't want to go watch you at the pool? That's what I reckon. But why do you think? What is it that they feel that by saying that? Why do you? And it may sound like a silly question, but why do you think that they bother to tell you that? What do they think? How do they feel that's going to shape you?
I think because a lot of people feel like you're going to fail. You're going to have failures in life no matter what you do. I know people are, I've never no, I've failed a lot. But I think I learn more from my failures than I do my successes. So if you're not trying, how are you ever going to know what you can or cannot do?
Right.
You have to try, And I think, people are good. People are good. Everybody's good at something. It may not be sports. It may not be music. It may not be,
Sure.
But everybody's good at something. You just have to find what you're good at.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you find something that you're good at and you're also passionate about it, it makes it you're no longer working. You're doing something you love and getting paid to do it.
And you wear a lot of hats in your role right now because there's only 2 of you on a tech department managing an entire district, well, the entire 750 students. And like you said, you're wearing every hat from a substitute teacher to, sometimes the technician and fixing broken screens to strategy.
Yeah, I think if you've never worked at a small school, I have worked at very tiny all the way up to a 6A school, so a very large school. And I think you learn that everybody in our district wears a lot of hats. And I think I'm very fortunate to be at a district that we are willing to jump in and help each other. And our administration team is wonderful. We all get along, not just at work, but also outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
And, our curriculum director, she is the curriculum department. She's also our testing coordinator. She's also in charge of TIA. She's also in charge of CTE. She also just published her first book.
Yeah, wow.
So we are all wearing so many different hats, but it's what you do. Like, if we don't do it, who's gonna? And we could sit there and go, well, that's not my job. That's not my job. But the only people that are getting hurt by that are our students. And I think if you actually are in education for the right reasons, you're there because the students, that's our goal, is to do what's best for our students, our staff, and make sure that we are carrying them forward to have a brighter future.
You said there's about 750 students. I might be missing something here, and you said there's over 1,000 Chromebooks.
Yeah, we have like 1,100 Chromebooks because we also have some towers that we have our spares in. So each tower has about 15 Chromebooks in it. So we have 5 of those, and then we have K through 5. We have classroom sets.
Okay.
So they actually have a few more in each classroom than what they have for students because, as we know, kids are clumsy and they might drop a computer or break a computer, so we don't want them to be without. And plus, our teachers also have Chromebooks.
One of the things I've heard you talk about, and I've been on a webinar with you, and you've talked about some of the innovation that you've incorporated with quite a lot of brands because you're really looking for ways when there is only a small amount of you. You're trying to automate as many things as you possibly can that you know are time consuming and that you don't want to be bogged down doing with. And obviously, lock and charge has been a big part of that. But I want to move away from that more so, and that is, how do you find time to actually find technology or product or software, whatever it might be, to help such a limited team, which you are? So how do you get innovative in that space to go, we literally can't handle all of this on our own, so we need to look for ways to solve that and do that better. So, but you then also need the time to invest to try and work out where that is. Sometimes it's just too much hassle.
Yeah, I think being able to go, I go to 3 conferences a year. That's it. Mm-hmm. Because being away from school when you're a 2-man team leaves a lot on my partner. And so going to those conferences and being able to talk to other CTOs, other teachers, other educators, and then meeting with vendors and seeing the products and going, okay, that would take a lot of training. I don't have time to train my staff on that. Mm-hmm. Oh, this one's pretty simple to deploy. It would be helpful. So you see those, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're summertime. It's the easy time for you." And I'm like, "You couldn't be more wrong." For technology, we are revamping, going through every device we have on campus, cleaning them up, making sure they're updated. Then we've got to we get the new devices for the new incoming 6th graders. We have to inventory and do all of that. And so summertime is actually a really busy time for us to make sure our network is up and going and doing all the things that we don't have time to do in the school year. So I think when you sit down, for me, I sit down with our leadership team and we prioritize. Where is this on the list? And we just have to make time in our day, set aside an hour here or a couple hours there. And that's, hey, we put that sign up, do not disturb. We're going to focus on this right now. And sometimes that works, and sometimes somebody still walks through the door.
The pressure of leadership doesn't change. You just talked about your leadership team. The challenges, again, change based on the size of the organization. But leadership itself is, leading people and having people hopefully be inspired to do things and work in ways through your encouragement. Being such a small team, I would see that it's probably even more difficult when you've got one other person. Just the two of you are like a partnership in what you're doing, and you literally just called the other person your partner, and you see that as you're going to have to divide and conquer, but at the same time you are working with very limited resources to get a lot of things done. So what is it within your leadership style you feel that benefits and shines in a really small organization or a small district, as opposed to what you might see someone have as a gift or having to use their leadership in a large district?
You said I called, his name's Jeremy. I called Jeremy my partner. Mm-hmm. I'm actually his boss, but that's not how I treat him.
Amazing.
Because I think being a leader isn't about, hey, I'm in charge and you're going to do what I say. It's about your actions. To me, actions always speak louder than words. I can tell you whatever you want to hear. If my actions don't reflect that, those words are meaningless. So I'm going to lead through how I act. I want him to see I'm going to get on the front lines. We're going to sit down. We wired up 15 carts together, and I don't know if you've ever had to manually wire a cart.
Yeah.
Your fingers get a little sore at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not going to say, hey, that's a really yucky task. I'm the boss. I don't want to do that. No, I'm going to get in the trenches with you. Because that's what true leadership is. You're showing them how to get through and how to cope and how to find the ways to find solutions.
And sounds like that's probably similar for each of the other leaders in the leadership
team.
Our
entire leadership team is that way.
Yeah.
I can tell you, K-12 right now, substitutes are hard to find. Especially, I don't know if it's just Texas or if it's across the country, but we've had a shortage of subs. And every last one of our leadership team has been in a classroom at least once this year, if not multiple times. And it's funny, I was talking to our middle school principal the other day because we were in another conference session and they were like, oh yeah, you're AP. We don't have APs. Our middle school principal deals with all the paperwork and all the scheduling and all that stuff. They also are in charge of discipline. Our high school principal, so really our high school principal and our middle school principal kind of work together to help each other out. And if one of them has gone off campus, the other one takes up not just their campus, but the others campus as well. And our elementary principal, we have all gone over to the elementary if they needed, or they'll come over to ours. We needed a dyslexia teacher midway through the year. Our dyslexia teacher left. We rearranged this. We sat down as a leadership team and worked with the elementary school and the middle school to say, hey, okay, let's rearrange the schedule so she can do that part over there in the morning, and in the afternoon she'll come over here and take up this part, so that we're still in compliance and our students are getting what they need. And nobody said, oh, I don't know how we're going to get this done. We just find a solution. We have some great innovators on our team that we are willing to sit down, and we don't always agree, but we can disagree and still get along and still be cordial and still find a solution.
There's not really anywhere to hide in an organisation as small as yours compared to maybe some of the larger ones. Can you think of a time where a project that you've worked on probably didn't go to plan and clearly everything pointed back to you and you're like, yeah, okay, I've got some work here to clean up?
Oh, absolutely.
Can you give me an example? And I'm not just trying to pull I'm not digging at old wounds deliberately here. I'm going to go somewhere with it. Can you think of a specific scenario that you just like, man, I could have definitely done that one better, and maybe I had some humble pie to eat on that one?
Anything come to mind? I 2 years ago, it might be 3 now, when I first started, I decided they didn't have an app, a school app. We didn't have, our website probably hadn't been updated in about 7 years, just because the timing, it's things that you do. And my predecessor did my job and our curriculum director's job. So she wasn't only the tech director, she was also the curriculum person, the testing person. So they split that when she retired, they split it into 2, which I don't know how she did it for so long, but I'm like, okay, we're going to update this. And I went with a company and I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be great. The rollout was horrendous. Our app was supposed to be ready July 1st. It didn't get ready till September. We go in to do the training with the staff. Nothing is working. And they're all looking at me like, you want us to use this? And I'm like, oh. So we recently, this past spring in April, changed again, which I don't know if you've ever changed.
So you stuck with it?
I stuck with it for 2 years.
Well done.
It was rough. The app never fully did what we needed it to do. Mm-hmm. So we chose another company and we have switched over. And that I learned from the first time what not to do. And this one was a much smoother rollout. We are officially don't have to use it until now. But we had, in the first 3 weeks, 40% of our parents were already signed up. Our staff was signed up. All the staff had been trained. I had parent nights, 4 or 5 parent nights where the parents could come up to the school. Me and my assistant were in the cafeteria for 3 hours. And, we had to tell them, hey, it's come and go. You don't have to be there. It's not a 3-hour session. It takes us 10 minutes to help you get set up, show you how to use it. Come on up and we'll help you get in. There's no code to sign up for. You literally just log in and it's going to go based off what's in our SIS.
That's an amazing story to show exactly what you said before is, if we're not trying, we're not failing. It's from your failures that you learn, right? But I can already hear from you just the sense of just excitement and passionate about it. It's you're not looking in the past, you're looking in the future, just saying, but yeah, okay, that didn't work well, but we've got this now. So let's roll with it. And we did it better because we learned what didn't work. How did it affect you personally at the time? And again, that's the reason I was asking the question is, how do you deal with that sort of setback personally? Is it fetal position back home in bed? Is it, and then from there, how do you get back to being the positive, forward-thinking, innovative person that you are that allows you to do that, but then get up the next day and do it? So what goes on for you? Is there a bit of like, damn it, like self-talk, like,
absolutely, 100%. I'm a perfectionist. I hate looking stupid.
Right.
I don't like anything to look like I don't know what I'm doing. So failure's hard for me. I mean, I do learn from it, but if I make a mistake, I promise you, it's not going to happen again because we're going to learn because we don't want to.
You're your biggest critic.
Yeah, I am. I am 100% my biggest critic. My dad was a Marine, so. Again, you do things right, and and your name is all you have. Your word is your bond. So again, actions speak louder than words. You have to show people who you want to be and how you want to be. And it's okay to fail. It is hard for me to fail. But, I mean, I sometimes want to go into the fetal position and cry, but then I'm like, no, you get up. Let's fix this. There's always a solution to every problem. You just have to be willing to put in the effort to find it. And I think that's how I was raised. That's how I've always gone into things. I am a lifelong learner, so I like taking things apart and figuring out how they work and putting them back together. And so dissecting things and saying, oh, this part works here, this one doesn't. It's just part of my process that I feel comfortable with that because I don't feel like I'm ever going to perfect anything. I feel like I do something, I can always get better at it. So I always take back and go, okay, that was good, but how can we make it better?
Interesting that you call yourself a perfectionist. I'm anything but, and perfectionists hate me because of that. But perfectionists can also get under the skin of people who are a little more spontaneous. Do you find that conflict happens in any of your personal or work relationships where that perfectionism can sometimes be a little bit of an obstruction to progress because you're wanting to get it
100%.
Right? Are you willing to share any of these stories to us right now?
So one of my coworkers is one of my best friends, and she actually sent me a meme this morning that was like, when you come into your coworker's office between sessions and say, I just need to vent. Because she is my go-to when I'm like, because she is so chill, so humbling, one of the best people I know. And I'll go in there and be like, I just need to vent because I understand it's a me problem. It's not a them problem. So I can't tell them it's a them problem, even though I, want to be like, no, this is how because not everybody is going to do things the way I want to do things. And if I'm going to...
And that must kill you.
Oh, sometimes it does. But like, if I am giving somebody the reins and saying, okay, tell me what you think, you do what you think is best, I can't then go back and go, no, that's not how I would do it, so that's wrong, which is tough. But also, again, I like learning. I love growing. And if I can't sit back and go, okay, I've got to take the reins. I've given them the reins. I've got to stay hands off. No matter how hard it is for me, I wouldn't grow. And I think that's been one of the biggest things to help me grow as a leader is realizing that it's okay to let somebody else do it, and just because it's done in a different way doesn't mean it's it's wrong. It's just not the way I would have done it. If it comes to the same result, then what's the problem?
I'm nodding because it's a lesson that I think we've all got to learn. And I don't even think that's a perfectionist problem because I wouldn't be defined as a perfectionist, maybe a control freak on certain things. But I definitely understand, and I have to keep reminding myself, and it's a constant reminder, and it's always a journey. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And I think I've said it in a conversation on the podcast before. It's like even just letting my daughter chop the onions when, I'm cooking. It's like, yeah, you can chop the onions. And I'm like, or my wife, I'm like, damn, she's chopping them wrong. It's like, that is not the way you chop onions. And I'm like, as if it's going to make any difference when the spaghetti sauce comes out, right? But it's like in my mind, it is so freaking important. And just to be able to step back and go, you know what, it'll actually all come out pretty fine in the end too. And I think that's the other thing is they might do it differently, but usually the journey, they all lead back, these different paths all lead to the same place, or often, which is very humbling for me,
they might do it better.
They actually, it usually ends up in a better place. It's like, if I say, I just won't say anything right now in this meeting, and then they suggest something, and if I had have spoken, it would have gone the way I probably have said we should do it. Yet by me just shutting up for like 2 minutes, they suggested something just way better perspective than I had because they saw it from a different angle and it went that way. Just a small choice like that. And that's the little reminders for me. It's like, it's okay. You can let go of some of this stuff. But, I thought it was a perfectionist thing, but clearly it's not.
I think the world would be a better place if all of us learned to listen more. Which is a skill I'm working on.
What was that?
Exactly. Yeah. Like, listen to what other people are saying. You don't have to agree. It's having, and I think that's something that everybody, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I don't like you or I don't. It just means we have different perspectives on an idea. And that's okay. But that's a problem because a lot of people are like, well, It's just how everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their own perspective on certain things. One doesn't make the other.
Yeah, it's a great distinction. And I think we can get caught up on that we're not enemies just because we come from different perspectives on something. In fact, we could be much better friends if we shared those perspectives with a real openness to hear what the other person is saying. Like, this whole word curiosity right now is right. Like if we lent into curiosity to go, what do you actually mean by that? Because I definitely don't hold that view. So I'm really curious to know why you hold that view, as opposed to you've said something, it's pissed me off, and I'm like,
and now I'm on the defense,
and I'm on the attack,
yeah.
Because like it's just this one little thing that can do it, and I'm like, I need to rein that back so much, and it would be wonderful if everyone else did too, right? Like
I think if you try to understand the other person's perspective, it gives you new insight into the situation.
Lacey, it has been an honor just having this conversation with you, hearing about your leadership, your journey. I love hearing people that just love being in the class, being on the tools in every perspective. I can't believe how many tools you are actually on, and the fullness of your life. I can see why you've got that energy that people want to be around, and it was great having you just share your story and do that.
I appreciate it. I had fun. It's always fun talking with you, James.
Thanks, Lacey.